Hi, this is Jake from Optimus Futures, and in this video, I'll be going over charts on Optimus Trader. Now, this video intends to show you how to customize, how to rearrange and resize, how to add technical indicators, and how to trade through a chart on Optimus Trader. We'll essentially be diving into all aspects of the charting widget on our platform. And as you can see, at first glance, we are presented with the default layout of Optimus Trader. So if you plan on utilizing the default layout of Optimus Trader, you'll find your charting widget in the top left-hand corner of our platform window. Otherwise, we can clear our layout and actually add our own charting widget. This can be done under the widget sidebar and left-clicking on chart. Alright, so now that we have a dedicated homepage to our charting widget, let's begin. And as you can see, when you do open up a chart, without applying a symbol at first, you will be prompted with essentially a tutorial on how to link charts, or how to link widgets for that matter. Now, linking widgets essentially forwards the asset from the original widget onto a second widget. So in our example of our chart here, if we do apply a contract to this chart, by linking a second symbol, the asset or that contract will essentially be forwarded to our second widget. That way, both widgets are linked in unison. So to show you this in real time, let's open up a time and sales widget as well. Now, there are several widgets that can be linked on this platform, those being charts, time and sales, reconstructed tape, and depth of market. So to link a widget, you'll first need to open up a symbol on a chart. To open up a symbol on a chart, you'll need to left click the chart drop-down menu, which is located in the top left-hand corner of the chart. Now from here, you can either search in the symbol directory for a symbol or contract that you'd like to apply, or you can utilize one in the menu right here. This does display the favorite contracts that you've added to your My Favorites widget. So for convenient purposes, we'll be adding the E-mini S&P 500. And as you can see, now that we've added a contract to our chart, we get the linking symbol button, which is located in the top right-hand corner of our chart. Now to link a widget, first you'll need to go to your primary widget, our primary widget being our chart here. You need to left click and hold the widget link button. And as you can see, once you drag and take it away from the charting widget, it becomes its own separate icon. And once you drag it over a widget that does support widget linking, you'll see you get the dialog box, set widget symbol to, and that whatever it says to, it will be the contract that you've applied to the original widget, that being our chart. So as you can see, if we let go of our widget linking, our time and sales now automatically is linked to our original widget being the chart, and they both now have the same symbol applied and are in unison. So that's how you link charts and link widgets on Optimus Trader. Now let's continue into the chart widget itself. Now, as I mentioned, the chart widget at any time can be resized or rearranged. To rearrange it, you'll need to move your cursor over the top of the ribbon bar here in the blank space between your symbol and your layout button. Now from here, you will get the hand or the pan icon. Your mouse cursor will transform into this icon. This represents that you can move the widget around. Left click the widget here and drag to your designated space. Now, as you can see, there is a red box located underneath of our widget. This designates where the widget will end up after you let go of your left mouse button. So although I have my chart dragged all the way down here, the red box displays the true location of where our widget will end up. So if we left click and let go, our widget drags to the red square. And it has actually been placed in a horizontal manner because I have layout sorting on vertical. But as you can see, this is a great transition into resizing widgets. Resizing widgets can be done in the bottom right hand corner. You will see there is a little black bracket per se in the bottom right hand corner. Once your icon transforms into the diagonal arrows, this represents that you can resize. So again, left click hold, and you'll see your red box underneath your widget designates where it'll be dropped. So once we let go, our widget snaps to the red box. Moving back to rearranging it, again, wherever our red box is, this displays where our chart will end up. So since we're only focusing on charts in this video, let's expand our chart to the entire screen. And now we have a better view of our chart. So we've already shown your symbol is located in the top left-hand corner. Time interval can be accessed directly underneath that by left-clicking in the drop-down menu. You can change your time interval to the various options located here. You can scroll down to receive more options, and the time interval can be extended up to 1 week. Moving towards the bottom now, this is where you can change your bars by either weekly, day, 12 hour, 6 hour, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5, or 1 minute. Again, this is just another way to rearrange the time interval of your charts. Now moving below that, as you can see, we actually have the chart trading buttons. Now this can be activated or deactivated by left clicking the chart trade button located in the top right hand corner of our charting widget. This is where my current mouse is hovering over. By left clicking it, this will disable the chart trading buttons. By left clicking it again, this will enable it. So if you plan on trading directly through a chart, this button can be utilized for you. Otherwise, you can deactivate this and either place trades through our order tab in the top here, or you can open up an order ticket or a depth of market to execute through. Now, as you can see in our chart trade buttons on the bottom here, we can adjust the quantity in the far left-hand corner. You can click the quantity drop-down menu, and you can either manually input and type in the quantity you'd like, or use one of the preset variables given to you. We also have the flag type, we have day order duration, and we have good till cancel. Now, traders can also utilize one-click trading. This essentially allows you to place trades instantly without a confirmation screen. So for you high-speed traders out there, this is great. To avoid mistakes, you may want to turn this off because, like I said, there is a confirmation screen when you do not have one-click trading on. But if you trade high frequency and want to avoid any confirmation screen, you may want to turn one-click trading on. Other than that, as you can see, we do have market buttons, both for buy and sell. Bid price is listed in the middle, while your ask is listed on the far right-hand side in red. You can also buy at the bid or buy at the ask. And you can do the opposite for your sell buttons. You can sell at bid and sell at ask. Now, also located on the chart, we have custom drawings as well as indicators. By clicking on the plus button here, this actually enables or disables crosshairs. As you can see, I no longer have a crosshair associated with my mouse, but by left clicking the crosshair button here, I now have crosshairs. And it does show an active glimpse of the close, open, high, low, and the current date associated with that contract. So as you can see, depending on where my mouse is hovering over, it will show the current date where my current mouse and crosshair is located at. This is at the top of my chart. On the right hand side, it will actually show the current price action where my x-axis crosshair is currently moving. Alright, so up next, located directly beneath our crosshair button, we have our chart drawing tools. Now our chart drawing toolbar gets positioned directly underneath our time interval up here on the top, which is right under our symbol as well. Now, starting from the left to the right, first up we have our selection tool, which is the tool that is selected by default, the one we have on right now. This essentially allows you to select any drawings you have done on your chart. And once you have selected a drawing, such as potentially a vertical line, it will become highlighted. So then you can move it around with this selection tool, or you can use the text, delete, and coloring tools on it. So to show you what I just illustrated essentially, we do have our vertical line, which is up next. So if I do place a vertical line, as you can see, depending on where my crosshair is, and if I left click, a vertical line is placed. Now going back to the selection tool, I can hover over it and it does get highlighted. And then as you can see here, I do gain access to my text, delete, and coloring tools. So I can either A, change the color of the line, B, add text, and text will be entered. As you can see, it's a bit out of sight behind our coloring toolbar, but it is there. And then finally, I could delete it. Same goes for the second vertical line I've added here. Again, if we click delete, it will be deleted. So that was the vertical line and showing how to delete such a line with the selection tool. Next up, we have horizontal line. This functions in the exact same way as the vertical line did, but instead it's horizontal. It is placed with a left click once it is selected. And if you do have your crosshairs enabled, it will be positioned in the same exact position as your x-axis crosshair. Again, if we need to, we can go in here and select our lines and then delete them one at a time. All right, up next, we have a trend line. Now this tool lets you draw a trend line. So simply click on the spot you want it to start and then click where you want it to end. So if I left click to start and right click, we now have our trend line. I know that wasn't entirely accurate, but again, you have access to draw wherever you like on your chart. Same goes for the selection tool, and we can delete as we go here. So after our trend line, we have the channel drawing tool. Now this tool lets you draw a channel like a 2D trend line, for example. So you'll need to click the start and the end points of the line you want, and then move up or down and click once more to give the channel its full shape. So like the direction said, you left click. Now we have our first channel, and then as you can see, I can move down to create a downwards going channel, or I can move upwards to create an upwards channel. And once I click again, I now have created a channel. Once again, we'll select our selection tool, select the entire thing, and then come up to our trash can icon and delete it. All right, up next after our channel is a simple ray or an arrow with two endpoints. To create your first endpoint, simply left click anywhere on the chart you'd like with the tool selected, and then left click once more in the secondary location. And it's really as simple as that. Click on your two endpoints and you get an extended arrow. Again, these can be deleted in a similar manner as the other ones. With the selection tool selected, simply left click within your arrow and delete. Now, next up, we have Fibonacci retracements. And this tool will let you easily create a Fibonacci retracement on your chart. So click once to mark the bottom left corner of the retracement area, and then again to mark the top right of your retracement area. As you can see, there's different levels of opacity. We can change the background color of our retracements, and we can also change the levels of our retracements, the width, the specific colors of our levels, a default stop distance. We can add additional levels, and we can extend our lines horizontally. If you would like to and you have made changes that you feel you will only utilize in the future, you can store these changes as a default, or if you happen to mess up and like the default changes, feel free to reset it as the default. For our video here, we'll be keeping everything as default, but to show you how to place it, simply click on the bottom left corner. And then as you can see, as we extend up, so do our retracement lines. And then by left clicking once more, this will place the top right retracement line for us. And as you can see, we now have Fibonacci retracement levels. This can be, once again, deleted by selecting our selection tool and then clicking trash can. For our final drawing tool, we have a box. Now, this is a simple drawing tool and it allows you to create a box on the chart in a soft gray color by the default. The first click will mark one corner of the box and the second click will mark the other corner diagonally. So as you can see, we can left click. And like I mentioned, by default, the color of the box is gray in nature. If you'd like, you can always change the color right here where my mouse cursor currently is over the color box. But as you can see, let's place this box first. Then we can use the selection tool to highlight it and then change its color. All right, so for the final feature of this charting video, I'll be demonstrating how to place technical indicators on your chart. And this is very intuitive and very easy to do. So if we left click the symbol directly underneath our chart drawing tools, this will open up a list of indicators that can be applied to our chart. So as you can see, we're currently in section 1 and we currently have 2 indicators applied: candlesticks and a value tag. Now we can access the settings by clicking on the cog wheel here. And then we can update our candle styles and the colors of our candles. We can do the same for value tag, and this will allow us to actually display what is on the value tag. Now, if you'd like, you can click the bubbles to change the indicators that are being currently displayed. So as you can see, there are various indicators for bid-ask levels, area, EMA 20, Fibonacci, Ichimoku, OHLC, and SMA 20 as well. If you do need to add further indicators, you can always click the Add Indicator button. This will allow you to add more indicators to this section. And as you can see, if we just back out of this real quick, we have now added Ichimoku to our chart as well. Going back to indicators, we can actually add more sections. So currently we are in section 1. If we add a separate section, this will create an entirely new area on our chart to utilize, as you can see. And now we have a separate section 2 located in the right middle over here. And now we can begin to add more indicators to this section. So if we click Add Indicator, we can now begin to customize this second portion of our chart. And we can continue to add as many indicators as it will allow us to. So as you can see, you can actually have 2 separate charts with 2 different sets of indicators. By adding candlesticks to section 2, we now essentially have an entirely separate section or an entirely different chart for the E-mini S&P 500. Now, if we close our indicator section here, you can see both sections running in unison. So as you can see, it may be a good idea to extend and rearrange your chart as you need. The more indicators that you do add and the more sections you add, the bigger the widget does tend to get, and you may need to resize it appropriately. But other than that, that just about covers it for Optimus Trader's charting widget. There is a lot to cover here, but charts are a very important part of this platform. So it is a good idea to familiarize yourself with charting on Optimus Trading.